Brother, brother, we don't have speak much. You. Wait, Doug, I wasn't ready. Can we start again?
Okay, start again.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. Uh, brother, brother, we don't speak much. Brother, brother, we've been through a lot. Inside of us, we know. It's been a while ago. A long, sad, happy road. Brother, brother.
All right, I think you were too soft there.
I'm trying to be soft because I can't sing, bro.
Yeah, but I mean, you should be out there. You can't.
Bro. That's the best.
You shouldn't be, hiding.
The lyrics is what important,
You can't hide your voice. You need to put it out there. You need to sing. You need to find your voice. You need to.
Are you saying I must do it again?
No, I'm just saying. When they say that little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
Nah, bro.
That's your voice.
That's someone else's light. They can let their light shine. I don't have a light, bro. I have
well, that's
solar panels or something.
Putting yourself down.
Nah,
that's still light.
I'm better. I have solar panels.
Yeah, even solar power still make light.
Listen, those. Yeah, but the way they make light and the process and things is different. Hey, bro, what do you want from me?
All right. Hello, hi, welcome. The show's name is Politics.
Although. I'm not the one who calls it politics, so you should say that.
Although, then why did you say although?
Because I'm the one who's saying although, like a pause, I'm breaking up your thought just
although
like
I call it politics,
yeah.
And the title of this episode is
The Iron Claw.
My name is Presh.
My name is Dil.
And I don't have much cleanup from last week. I think it was a perfect episode.
Oh, I love it.
I'm just joking. I just didn't write down anything, so
that's even better.
Although I think you were saying something about we need to put somebody who doesn't want to be president as president.
Yes.
And I totally disagree with that.
No, wait. Sorry. I didn't say exactly like that. I didn't intend to say that either, Yeah. I was just saying you should just vote for people, and if the person wants to be president, they'll put in more effort to gather more votes. And if you happen to prank your friend and you get 20 people to vote for him, and somehow by some God's grace that nobody else in the country has more than 20 votes, then you'll be the president.
The point you're trying to make is somebody with no experience in government, right?
Yeah,
because they don't have any preconceived notions of what government is, so they can look at it with a fresh perspective.
Yes, and also address the problems in government with a fresh perspective.
That's fair enough, but I respectfully disagree, right?
Okay.
I think you have to have a good idea of government to identify the gaps, where something is wrong. So it can't be somebody new. It has to be somebody who's,
And you'll have someone like that. For example, if all my friends voted for me, I don't know anything about politics, so obviously I need to ask someone about it. So obviously as a new person, I have to find someone who I can trust to give me this information, because at the end of the day, any president has advisors.
Yeah, but
and
how
you need
that?
To also vet your advisors. So I don't want to be stepping into this situation and then they're like, yo, these are your advisors, they're going to tell you how to do things. I don't know these people. I want to feel independent. So when I come in, I want to come in, feel like I can bring my own team. If I can see my own people, that'll make me feel better. That's just a hypothetical.
All right.
But I understand if you disagree, that was just a fun idea.
All right. Anyway,
I'd vote for you though, and I'd get all my friends to vote for you.
Thank you so much. Although I'm not running for anything.
That's
maybe
fine.
My new exercise routine, I could do some running, but for office, no.
Nice.
So the news for the week.
Oh yeah.
So last week we spoke about Pedro Pascal being cast as Mr. Fantastic.
I love that guy.
This week the entire Fantastic Four has now been cast. It was
confirmed.
It was released on Valentine's Day. They put out this really nice picture of the four of them, and there's a very 60s kind of aesthetic.
Oh yeah.
And the idea that people are having is that it's possibly set in the 60s.
Oh.
And I was thinking that they're lost in space. And then they arrive back on Earth, and it's been 60 years, and it's the 2020s now. Right? But they haven't aged. They're the same age. So that's what I thought. So yes, to get into it, Vanessa Kirby from the 2 latest Mission Impossible movies. She's going to be the Invisible Woman. Have you seen those?
Yeah. I like Tommy.
Yes. but what about her in the movies?
Yes. I recall it.
And have you seen Napoleon?
Napoleon Bonaparte? Napoleon Dynamite?
The new movie. The new movie by Ridley Scott.
No, but I think I know that guy, the man who's acting in it.
Joaquin Phoenix, yes.
Oh, is it the Phoenix?
Yes.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
But yes, I think she's a very good actress. I think this is good casting. Then we have Joseph Quinn. He plays Eddie on Stranger Things. Have you heard of this guy?
Yes.
He's the guy with the long hair. And
of course, he's the playboy. That's how.
He's friends with the chap with no teeth.
Yeah. I know the guy you're talking about, because if I'm just imagining the Human Torch, that fits the description.
Well, the Human Torch is like, the early 2000s Fantastic Four movies with Chris Evans. Chris Evans is like kind of perfect casting. He's like a handsome, cocky guy. This Joseph Quinn guy, a lot of people are saying, oh, he's not really that good looking. And they're just slamming this guy's looks, bro. So,
well, if I've learned anything, especially from this movie, if you give actors enough time, they can get jacked for a role, no problem.
Well, I don't think it's about being jacked. I think it's about like prettiness.
They'll change their looks. When I say jacked, I just mean that they can change their whole appearance. Because 1 minute, what's that guy? Christian Bale was looking like
he's like gaunt and hollow, and then he's ripped for Batman. In fact, he got too big for Batman. They had to,
whatever, bro. Still, he was able to change his facial appearance as well. So, but
fair enough.
That sounds cool.
That being said, not everyone is as committed as Christian Bale,
Yeah. But I mean, these new upcoming actors, I'd expect a little bit of gusto from these fellas trying to get into the industry.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And what about
The Thing?
Yeah, The Thing.
So we have.
I even forgot that's his name. He was just breaking cups, Brickman open.
His name is Ibon Moss Backrack.
Okay.
Have you heard of him?
Nah.
He plays cousin on The Bear.
Cousin?
Yeah. He's not even this guy's cousin. He's like, he was just friends with his brother, and he just calls him cousin. So I forget his real name.
Is there another movie?
He was on Andor, the new Star Wars TV show.
Okay.
Came out last year. He was in The Punisher.
Yes.
He was the Punisher's friend who does tech stuff for him. I think his name was Tech.
The Punisher, like the series?
Yes, the series
with
John Bernthal.
Okay, we're getting somewhere, no problem.
Yes.
That sounds exciting, though.
Yeah, but I'm a big fan of this guy. Excellent actor.
Okay.
I like him a lot. So yes, the two, people have a problem with Pedro Pascal and Joseph Quinn, and people seem to love Vanessa Kirby and Ebon Moss-Backrack. But you know what, I have faith in the casting department at Marvel. Hopefully, things go well.
And I have faith in, like I'm saying, these actors are trying to break it in, so they should work hard, do their best.
Yes. And then we have a rumor, not confirmed, right? But
not confirmed.
Possibly. They're lining up Javier Bardem to be Galactus.
Javier?
Are you familiar with them?
Tell me about Javier.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think what you would know. He was Salazar in the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Salazar's Revenge.
Give me some other movies there.
Okay. He was the bad guy in No Country for Old Men, the assassin.
The assassin?
Anton Chigurh.
Anyway, cool.
All right.
Javier, let's just accept he could be a bad guy. And what's the bad guy's role he's playing?
So Galactus is a planet eater.
Yes.
You remember?
Yes. Wasn't he reporting to the Silver Surfer or something?
No, the Silver Surfer is his minion.
Yeah, that's one. So so the Silver Surfer is reporting to Galactus.
Galactus, yes.
Away.
So it's not necessarily the Silver Surfer. He has a bunch of heralds.
He's got a bunch of Silver Surfers. They go out.
They go out and they find a planet for him to eat.
For sure.
Because he can't eat every planet. Certain planets are...
They don't agree with this.
Yeah, they don't agree with him. So
you don't want no Mars.
He sends out these heralds to scout. So the most popular one is the Silver Surfer, but apparently they're not doing the Silver Surfer for this movie. Yes, so we'll see.
But you can expect maybe a sort of herald of the similar features, maybe having a board. Some sort
all
of
them are different.
Weapon that has, but like the mechanisms, the mechanics must be similar. It must be made of something.
No,
you don't think it'll be.
It's just the Silver Surfer. His race of people look like that.
Oh, okay.
It's not Galactus doing that. He just gave him power to.
Oh, okay. So he's saving like one specimen from each universe and sending them out to go and scope out other.
Silver Surfer made a deal with Galactus that if you don't eat my planet, I'll become your herald.
Oh, okay. So there was probably some other people who made some deals too.
Yeah.
I'd bet.
If he just likes you, he'll make you a herald.
This guy who doesn't agreeably digest Mars might like you. And
you have a good personality. You're a cool, fun dude. I think I'd be friends with Galactus. I rate.
Mr. Galactus. What other trailers did you watch this week?
All right. This week we got the Deadpool trailer from the Super Bowl. Well, a lot of them are just... so the Super Bowl is a time where studios premiere their big movies for the year. Right? I remember, like, one of my favorite ones is when the Civil War trailer, is like...
Yes.
I thought he's my friend, Tony, and he's like, so was I. That one hit me the heart, bro. But yes,
and imagine in a crowd full of people, everyone watching that.
So the Deadpool trailer came out this week. The Deadpool and Wolverine trailer.
Okay, nice.
Your thoughts on it? Because we just watched it before we started recording.
I like Deadpool. My favorite guys. I was just saying it'll be nice to watch some other previous Deadpools to catch up.
Yeah, we'll definitely do that.
Yeah, and X-Men. I have no beef with X-Men.
Wait. Oh. We're still talking about Deadpool.
Oh, okay, sure.
So it looks like he's joining the TVA. Are you familiar with the TVA?
Who's the TVA?
They're from the Loki TV show, but they keep time in check.
Okay.
If there's a person going through time and making a mess of things, they go and sort that person out.
Yes.
So at the end of the second Deadpool, he gets this machine that lets him go through time. So I assume this is the repercussions of that.
Okay.
They're arresting him and they sending him on a mission.
So
based on the trailer, I don't really... I can't tell what's going to happen, which is the sign of a good trailer for me. Because there's a lot of trailers that will just tell you what's going to happen in the fucking movie, bro.
Sometimes you can just watch the trailer. It's enough. You'll know everything.
They put every twist and turn in the trailer, and you're like, what's the point of even watching the movie? But yes, so I enjoyed that trailer. I don't know how much I'm going to enjoy the movie. I'm not a fan of Deadpool. I don't find him funny. I think he's very irritating.
He's got that deadpan humor.
Well, whatever.
What about Ryan Reynolds? Are you a fan of Ryan?
Not recently.
Not recently?
I didn't like Free Guy. That was the worst movie of the year. It came out. Red Notice sucked.
Wow. Okay then.
Yeah.
Sorry, buddy.
No, I liked the first Deadpool. The first Deadpool was excellent, right?
Yeah.
The second one was not that good. So,
Okay, but well, look, we'll watch them again and we'll see how you feel. Maybe your feelings might have changed.
Fair enough. I just think they did so much with so little on that first Deadpool movie. It was just a I don't want to say a masterpiece, but it was a technical marvel. Yeah. Anyway, the next trailer we watched is the Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire.
Yes, Papa.
Which I'm definitely gonna mistakenly call Godzilla vs Kong, because
it's okay.
you know, when I've showed up to you, I'm
Let's just
telling
say-
the listeners, when I showed up to your house and I was talking about it, I'm like, yo, Godzilla vs Kong, Godzilla vs Kong.
Yeah.
Then we put it on and it's like, that's not the name. That's
Because you're the one who explained to me. I'm like, how Godzilla versus Kong, didn't they fight already? And now you're saying they're fighting something else. So
Yes.
but the X might be, they're teaming up, joining. So we'll say Godzilla and Kong. Yeah.
How did you feel about the trailer?
I think it's a nice movie for like the cinematics and stuff.
Yeah.
And the way it looks, it'll be good to watch in the IMAX.
Yes.
But
Oh
I don't
my
know
God.
about a whole storyline.
This is gonna go crazy in IMAX.
It could be a good storyline. It could be decent. But at the end of the day, it'll be an enjoyable film to just watch.
Yes.
Because of
spectacle.
everything. Yeah.
But you know how I was just talking about giving the whole game away in the trailer? I think this movie gave it all away. I think I can tell you pretty much how it's gonna go based on this trailer. Like, we see Godzilla with the red, scales. I think that's because there's something wrong. There's a new ice.
Like you went to another universe and found your counterpart,
Yes.
And your counterpart happens to be evil.
Then
Now you gotta fight.
Then that ice thing beats him. Then he gets some power up and he turns blue again. And then that blue is what defeats the thing.
But anyway, some movies, like we're saying, it's not about the story.
Yeah, it's about the
It's just
spectacle.
about you want to see what's going on.
It's similar to going to a concert. Like, you know the songs, but it's about the performance. It's about the vibes. It's about being in the the moment. So I think similarly, the Godzilla vs Kong, even though I can see the plot like a mile away, I would love to see this in IMAX.
It would be nice.
A bit of a spoiler. This is my favorite of the trailers that we're discussing today.
Godzilla vs. And Kong, sorry, not this.
Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire.
Yeah.
Yes,
Sure.
I
Okay.
think I'm most excited for that.
Okay, that's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Then after that, we have the X-Men '97 trailer,
Yes.
a continuation of the '90s X-Men TV show. And
Hey, I was very excited when I first saw there was a cartoon, and they just ended with that last bit of the cartoon that we remember from the 70s, I mean the 90s, and then, bam, there was another cartoon. So it looks like a top quality production, I think.
Yes.
What do you think?
yes, I just wanted to say, I think they're trying to make it seem as if though Professor X died. And I would bet any amount of money
This guy not dead.
he faked his death. Because in the comics, he's faked his death 5 times.
I wouldn't be
He's
surprised
constantly,
if it's like
bro.
more.
He's constant it's if there's a reason to do it,
Yeah.
maybe you being hunted or something.
Yeah.
He under no threat. Professor X has faked his death.
Time to shed his mortal coil
It's like, shit.
onto the next.
Oh, they kind of mad at me, trying to fake my death.
Hey, it's a nice plan. I like it.
But yes, that's the first thing. Second thing, I'm so excited for this. I'm a big fan of the X-Men.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate the last couple of X-Men movies have been garbage. I grew up with the movies as a child. I remember I have all of them on
DVD.
No, VHS.
You. Do you ever play it for that, bruh? Or you just keeping it for golden oldies?
I don't have the VHS anymore. But I'm just saying.
Yeah, you used to.
Used to.
I like it. I dig it.
Actually, I don't know. I should go check the garage at my parents' house. They might have it still. But yes, I remember going to see X-Men 3 in Eastgate, and it was a very, very hot day, and it burnt the film. So we got a refund, and we had to come another day because
Damn.
yeah.
As it is.
Yes, so I'm a big fan of the X-Men. Like I said, I just think they've been done very dirty in the past couple of years. And also, since I've gotten more into the X-Men, I realized how dirty those movies did Scott. Scott is like the Captain America of the X-Men. And he's just like a chump in these movies, bro. It's...
Mr. Cyclops, ne?
Yeah, Cyclops. he says, "To me, my X-Men,"
Yeah,
because he's the leader. He's the, obviously Charles Xavier is the leader, but he's the guy in the field.
But at this point, it doesn't seem like it. Maybe that's why he's always fighting to get his girl Jean Grey back from her. Because you would think that the main guy is Wolverine,
Yes.
but he has to go against Wolverine and show that I'm the leader, So sure.
So very excited for that as well.
All right,
but
cool.
Yes, that's coming in March. So very soon. Then the next bit of news I saw this week is the Sora AI.
What does that tell me?
So it's photorealistic videos, right?
Okay.
So a few months ago we were speaking about AI, and I said, well, it's not there yet. It's gonna take a long while till we get like that, and here we are a few months later. Now there's still like, you can see they have extra fingers and stuff, but it's so close.
What's the AI trying to do? It's making a photo come alive.
It like, if I put in a prompt with my voice, pool on a hot day, it will animate a pool on a hot day, okay. Right? And it can do up to 1 minute of, animation.
Oh, okay, that's pretty cool.
It's cool, but it's also anti-art, right? What is the point of art, right?
Yeah.
It's to see a creative create something. If a machine is doing it, it's not the same.
To be honest, I would just try and tell the machine, and then let the machine give me a basic idea, and then I'd go to an artist and let the artist perfect it,
Yeah, listen, I'm not against AI, right? I'm just saying, like, if they made a movie using AI, I wouldn't watch it, because that's not the point of a movie, right? There
needs to be some creativity, and creativity only comes from human beings.
Human ingenuity, and obviously actual artist drawings were, so an AI is just taking older images, right, and creating a new image from those older images. So it's taken actual artist work already and is printing something out. It's not its own genuine thing. It's taking something else and remixing it. So again, it's anti-art, but I thought it was so cool seeing these videos this week that it's so photorealistic. It's cool, but I'm against the idea of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's see how it goes. You said it's still some time away, so we'll see. Yeah. When it comes, who knows? It might be useful, it might not be. But only time will tell.
Okay.
What else did you hear in the news, bro?
So the next thing, I'm reading this from apnews.com in a story by Emma Burrows.
Okay.
Alexei Navalny's spokesperson confirmed Saturday that the Russian opposition leader had died at a remote Arctic penal colony, saying he was murdered. But it was unclear where his body was as his family and friends searched for answers. Navalny's death at age 47, which I don't know he was age 47, I thought he was older, that's relatively young, right? Has deprived the Russian opposition of its most well-known and inspiring politician less than a month before an election that will give President Vladimir Putin another 6 years in power. Although neither the imprisoned anti-corruption crusader nor other Kremlin critics were in a position to challenge Putin for the presidency, the loss of Navalny was a crushing blow to Russians who had pinned their future hopes on Putin's seemingly indefatigable foe, which is a word I'd never heard of before. Indefatigable. But I assume it's like they can't be fatigued. It also prompted questions about what killed him. Russian officials told the politician's team Saturday that the cause of Navalny's death had not been yet established and that the results of a new investigation would be released next week, said Navalny spokesperson Kira Yamsh. Navalny's mother was told that the body would not be released until those investigations were complete, she said. The decision has prompted speculation that the Russian authorities may be keen to hold on to the body in an attempt to cover up potential foul play. Quote, "They're driving us around in circles and covering their tracks," Yamsh said. A note handed to Navalny's mother stated that he died at 2:17 p.m. Friday, according to Yamsh. Prison officials told his mother when she arrived at the penal colony Saturday that her son had perished from sudden death syndrome, which Ivan Zhadov, the director of Navalny's anti-corruption foundation, wrote on X, formerly known as Twitter. So, thoughts?
Hey man, sounds like I don't know, not that really.
All right.
Yeah, what do you think?
Similarly, I don't have too much information, right? But what I do know is that this Navalny guy is a right winger. He's a ghoulish right winger. He speaks about Muslims and he compares them to cockroaches and they need to be stamped out, right? So he's not a good guy either, right? Putin is a bad guy. That doesn't mean somebody who's in opposition to him is automatically a good guy. It's good that he was against Putin, but he was also a bad person in his own right? So I'm not saying his death was a good thing or I'm just saying he should not be viewed as a hero for being anti-Putin, right? That being said, this serves as a terrible reminder of how evil Putin is. In a free country, you can criticize the government without fear of retaliation. Acts like this show Russia for what it is, which is a dictatorship. So, yeah.
It's a bit hectic, man.
Now, if I had some more time, I would have watched there was a documentary about him called Navalny, which was very big a few years ago, but I totally missed it. Right? I do want to watch it this weekend and report back next week, and
we'll see how it goes.
We'll see if my opinion changes of him, or maybe I heard wrong information. I was I do also want to do my other research, not just this documentary, but yeah. Okay. This next story I'm reading from the Daily Maverick, but the original story is from Bloomberg.com, written by Anthony Squazin and Michael J. Kavanagh. Right? South Africa will deploy 2,900 troops to help fight armed groups in the east of Democratic Republic of Congo as part of a Southern African Development Community initiative. The cost of the year-long deployment will be just over 2 billion rand, the South African presidency said in a statement on Monday. The deployment of troops from SADC comes as United Nations peacekeepers, which included South African soldiers, prepare to withdraw from the troubled region and an East African force exit after tensions with Congo's president, Congo's President Felix Tshisekedi. Sorry if I butchered his name there, right? Quote, the obligation to contribute troops is borne by all SADC member states, the presidency said. SADC is a 16-member group of countries including Congo. The presidency didn't say how the deployment, which will be in place until 15 December, will be funded, but said it won't affect the usual operations of the South African National Defense Force. Tanzania and Malawi are also contributing soldiers to the force known as SAMIDRC. SADC troops began arriving in December and are already involved in operations against the M23 rebel group, Congo has said. Congo says M23, which is led mainly by Congolese members of the Tutsi group, is supported by neighboring Rwanda. United Nations experts say members of the Rwandan Defense Force also provide support to the group in Congo. Rwanda denies backing the group. M23 says it's protecting Tutsis from discrimination in Congo and fighting Rwandan rebels in the country who have links to the perpetrators of the 1994 Rwandan genocide. Right? So once again, like the Navalny situation, I'm not going to pretend like I'm an expert on this, right? But this does not seem like a productive use of our resources. Like I said, in the case of the Russia-Ukraine war and with Israel's genocide of Palestinians, we need to pursue for peace. We should be sending diplomats to ease the tensions between parties and eventually broker peace. Spending 2 billion rand while the country faces so many problems is unconscionable. Last week we spoke about the 800 doctors that aren't employed by the government.
Yeah.
This
in fact, you could send those doctors there, there must be some injured people who might need help.
Yes, 100%. It's there's always money for war, there's never money for schools, there's never money for employing doctors, there's never money for
Let's take a moment of silence for never enough money for
sorry.
Thanks. Oh wait, what's next, bro?
Alright, so can we get into the context for the movie?
Yeah.
So this movie, well, I don't have much context. I'm unfamiliar with the director, He wrote and directed this. I'm unfamiliar with the story of this family.
Yeah. I also had never heard of anything about the family, you know, so it was a bit surprising for me too.
A very eye-opening story. I love wrestling, but the thing is I don't watch it all the time, so I don't follow all the stories and you know that kind of thing. But when I do watch it, I have a great time. So yes, the only bit of context that I can contribute is that this is distributed by A24.
Do you know A24?
Do you know A24?
Maybe you should tell me.
So we've covered many A24 movies on this podcast before, right?
Yeah.
We were speaking about this the other day, Beau is Afraid. We covered that on the podcast. A24 is a very good independent
studio film
distribution company, right?
Okay.
So what they do is they go to movie festivals like Venice or TIFF or New York, and the independent directors will premiere their movie there. So they may have gotten the money to make the movie from like a grant from a government, or like they took out a loan or whatever. However they got the money, now they're selling it. A24 is very good at you know finding those excellent movies and then you know distributing them. So yes, I'm a big fan of A24, as we've covered on this podcast many times. But yes, so
A24, this movie brought to you by A24, right?
Yes.
Thank you. So let's talk about the movie. Hey, how did you like the trailer, bro? From the trailer, you know, when I see based on the true story, that always gets me a little bit excited, you know.
I don't know. I don't care.
No,
you know,
doesn't matter.
It's like change it however little or much you want. You know, like I just want to see a good story told well, right? If you need to change some details about it, or you know, I'm totally fine with that. I think I mentioned this in the Oppenheimer episode, where Nolan, he moves certain things around and certain dates around, you know, to make it a better story. I trust the director that they know how to tell a story, so they're gonna, you know. Well, that doesn't mean I don't have my criticisms, but you know, so my thoughts on the movie. I love the acting in this movie.
Okay, yes,
right?
I definitely agree. I like the cast too. Zachy boy.
Yes, well, that's the thing. Based on the reviews I've been reading, I'm seeing a lot of praise for Zac Efron, which is absolutely deserved, right? He's phenomenal in this movie.
And I like Lip too. I don't know what's his name.
His name is Jeremy Allen White.
Yes, but I just know him as Lip. He was looking good there.
Yeah, he's also on The Bear. Speaking of Ebod Mossback, right?
Yes.
He's the cousin.
Oh, okay. The bear, it's not about that bear that had a whole bunch of cocaine.
That's Cocaine Bear.
Oh. No. Okay, sure.
The
this
bear,
is the cooking one.
Yes. He's a chef. His name is Carmine Berzano.
Yeah,
right?
Actually.
So they call him the bear based on his surname.
Oh, okay. Actually, now I dig it. Yeah.
All right. So, it's a much more serious role than I would associate with Zac Efron, right? Like obviously we know him from
High School Musical,
but then like comedies like Neighbors and
The Bad Neighbors, yeah.
What's with The Rock? Baywatch.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I normally associate him with comedies, so seeing him in such a serious role is I'm glad.
And he had a whole new accent too.
Yes.
Know? It wasn't like he just put on his normal face and went. He had to change a lot of things about him.
You know, last week I was speaking about Jason Statham. This is a good example of an actor getting out of their comfort zone, trying something new, and I like to see that, you know, because it's obviously easy to be in your comfort zone. It's easy to just keep on doing the same shit, but to step out, put yourself out there, you know, it's brave.
Yeah, and the father too. The father's dope AF.
The next thing I wanted to
look, he's not a dope AF father, but like his acting skills.
The acting. His name is Holt McElhaney.
Yes,
he's in a lot of David Fincher things. Have you seen? What's that detective show? Damn it, a Mindhunter.
Yes,
he's from Mindhunter.
Yes,
he's the co-detective in Mindhunter, but he's also from Fight Club. So yes.
Oh,
right? So, like I said, he's a frequent collaborator with David Fincher.
Alright.
Yeah, he was my standout for this movie. Honestly, he was so good at it, right? And he's so good at showing the singular-minded thinking of the father, right?
That's a nice way to say it, because he was truly singular-minded. He just wanted that title, and that's, oh boy, there was a point where the two boys had to decide. He said, fuck it, flip a coin. I don't care, as long as we come home with that thing, bruh.
Oh my God, right. The two lesser-known brothers, David and Michael, and Kevin's wife, played by Lily James, were perfectly serviceable as well. You know, like I said, they didn't do bad, they didn't do excellent. It was just, you know, they were good, right? What I didn't like is how little screen time Jeremy Allen White and Maura Tierney had. Maura Tierney is the mother. Both of them, they're big actors, but they were given so little to do. You know, I believe Jeremy Allen White could have given a much better performance. You know, like from Lip and from The Bear, we know he's much better than what he gave in this movie. I
have a feeling like in this movie, maybe the focus wasn't on him, because him especially, whenever there was an interesting scene coming up, they would just cut it out, and then I'd be like, you know, I want to see what this guy's gonna do. So I agree with that. He could have used some more screen time.
But he's I was gonna say he's not the main focus in Shameless as well, but because that character is so fleshed out, he has a chance to shine, right? Yes, Maura Tierney as well. Just as the mother, she's always just like praying, or like just so little time. Like, we never find out what her thoughts on the situation are.
Well, to be honest, Zach says everything perfectly in the opening lines of the movie, you know, saying that, you know, his mother would fight them off with the god, and the father would help them with wrestling. So, you know, that's all. Every time, like you said, we see her, or something needs to happen, she's either praying, or she's hiding, or she's crying, you know.
Yeah. Which maybe that's what the mother is really like, but I just think it was a waste of an actor of Maura Tierney's caliber that
maybe they just had some extra money, so like we'll put it there.
Right. Lastly, with the actors, I really enjoyed the Ric Flair cameo.
Dude, there's a song, and the first time, like, if you ask me to sing the song, I can sing it for you. But like when I heard that Ric Flair
go woo on a bitch,
that one where he's like, I've got 25 women waiting in the limousine outside, waiting on me, and you know, like I don't know if it's the same Ric Flair I've heard in the song, you know, or what. But just when I heard that scene, I lost my mind because I've heard it in the song, and I was like, I did not know where this was from. Who said this? And then when I was like, it's Ric Flair. Even, you know, now I know.
Yeah.
So that was cool. Yeah. I like that.
So the actor doesn't have a Wikipedia page, so I couldn't see what else, you know, they done. But I hope to see him in the future. That was a very good performance. Just like a one scene role, and he just stole the show for me. He was so good, right? Next, this is a really beautiful movie, right? And I give a lot of credit to the cinematography for that, and the places they choose to shoot. You know, like those nice fields and like
and all the gyms and the arenas and the rings. You know.
Yes.
Yeah,
there's a lot of really good framing. Yes. Yeah. So you know, especially when it's like dark and there's nobody there, the empty ring with the light on. That was a very arresting visual, right? So yeah. Also, last week we spoke about the constant cutting, right? And this week is the opposite of that. We get these extended long shots that make you feel immersed in the action. And it's not like, you know, it's not just in the ring with the fighting. When we also see the youngest brother performing music, it makes you feel like you were at that party, you know, like watching this guy play.
I don't know, bro. Maybe that feels for you. But for me, it feels like I was just starting to watch this guy perform and then cut, you know? Yeah. Or this guy was about to get in an accident and then cut, you know? Whatever's happening, I don't like that just cutting me off, you know? I want to see things through. Fair enough. I understand it builds nice tension too, you know? And it also leaves you thinking, what happened? What's next? You know, what happened? What's next? Yeah.
I also want to say there was a very confusing timeline to this movie because this takes place over the course of like 20 years, I want to say. Maybe even longer.
Oh, yeah.
But nobody ages, you know, well...
To be honest, I didn't even notice the the timeline until you mentioned, because I remember there was a big, it says what state they're in, where they are, and then in the corner it just has the date. Yeah. So I wouldn't really pay attention to the date, but 20 years is a long time for all of them, yeah?
Well, so like when we with the father, when the father was first wrestling in the beginning, that's like in the 60s, and then we pick up in the 70s, 76. So that was 16 years already. I don't want to count that. The next thing we do is like 85, and then we end up in the 90s. So all in all, it's like more like 30, 35 years. So, right. But also with those things in the corner, it was kind of throwing me off, like... because they all look the same as they looked when they were first introduced, right?
I think where you got thrown off, I was only picking up because I only noticed that the timeline has gone because of the way that they were behaving, At first, for example, the kid was on crutches, and then later, he was walking, and then later he was running, Then later he was in the ring trying to do more. So, like, seeing some of their progressions made me realize that, this is actually taking them a couple of years to get through whatever it is. And that lady also had many babies. I think her babies were also the timeline for me because, when the first brother, they got married, then they had a baby. Then, something else happened, a major event, there was another baby. Then the final event, there was a third baby, so yeah, that helped me, the lady's babies.
There was a lot going on, right? Right. Talking about the music, when I was saying the younger brother performing, the score in this movie is really excellent, right? The low trumpets adds a lot to the ambience of the movie. The songs I could take or leave, right? But that being said, I think the songs worked for the movie. Like, I didn't like the songs, but it made sense in the context of the movie, which... that's what movies should be doing. Yeah, sure. they shouldn't be catering to everybody's music needs. They should be, I especially like the begging you. Yeah, but that's an excellent song.
And I think the outro song was also nice as well. I remember that last scene with Zach and his kids. Yes. I was tearing up, and then the song just hit me. I was like, yes.
Yeah. I wasn't tearing up. I was full on crying. I was
like, to be honest, the whole movie I'm watching, and I'm like, I can feel this is a cool story, but like, where's it going? And then at the end, I was like, it doesn't matter where it's going. It's here now.
Yeah. Right. So I think the core of this movie is about conditional love. Right?
Yeah, that's...
And I think you're a psychiatrist, right?
No.
Okay.
But mental wellness counselor, yeah, sure.
Okay, but I'm saying you can speak more to this, right?
Yeah, sure, we can.
That the father, even like saying, okay, he's my favorite, and then this, and then this. That is fucking them up, right?
Yeah,
that is the cause of all their problems. So, in the movie they say there's a curse, and you even said it earlier, there's a curse. I really don't think there's a curse. I think it's this man and his single-mindedness, right?
Yeah.
Him tying his...
He was the point of the curse.
Yes. Yeah. Him tying his love of wrestling to the love of his children is what caused all of them to die. Not all of them, Zac Efron didn't die, but...
most of them.
Yes. So you said you wanted to speak about the deaths, right?
Yeah.
So I think this would be a good place to do that, right?
Yeah, because you're right in that sense. Like I said, I like the way you said it, that man's single-mindedness, he only thought about the wrestling, and that's not right to put the wrestling and make it love and then put that condition on your children too. You're right the way you said the order in which, and that order can change, you know, so his love can change as well. And it was very sad to watch the whole movie and to see till the end his love didn't change, you know. He was still only caring about wrestling. He was still fighting with those people about selling the place. So yeah, that was very sad. And unfortunately, he's the only guy who didn't die. If he died, you know, the movie might have been much better.
I think it also speaks to narcissism, right?
Yeah.
He's so obsessed with
That's
himself
true.
and his idea of wrestling. He doesn't realize that his youngest son is a talented musician. You know, like he said, he plays violin, piano, some other thing.
Yeah.
That's
true.
That's very talented. You know, you should nurture that. You should encourage your children to, you know, support their dreams. This guy,
He was only supporting one dream, and it was his own dream.
Yes.
So definitely very narcissistic.
so yes, that unfair expectations is what killed Michael, the youngest one. He overdosed on pills.
Yes, that's
And
true.
He got hurt on his back, right? Which is why he had those pills in the first place, because he was, you know, forced to do
He was
wrestling.
injured, yeah.
Right? So that's definitely on the father, the first one.
The next death was the...
No, that I'm not doing them in order. I'm going from youngest to
Oh.
oldest.
Yeah, but then the next two I know for sure suicide.
Yes.
So
Well,
one
no,
is
no.
suicide by...
The one wasn't a suicide. The brother, he was sick, right?
Oh, yes, that's right.
There was something wrong with his
the
intestines.
brother
He was
went
vomiting.
to Japan.
Yes.
Yes.
But we see him vomiting blood.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
That's
this
not a good sign, bro. That's like
Yes.
you need to intervene, bro. And this guy just said, "Nah, it's fine. I need to go back to this wrestling."
Yeah, but
Man,
that
shit.
also stems from the father, right? The
that's
father,
true.
they
That's true.
told him, if you don't win in Tokyo, you have to forget about the winning the world championship. So that again, undue pressure on him is what forced him to play,
he was overexerting himself
to wrestle with the injury. And there we go, he died as well. Then the exact same thing happens to Lep. He but I could see that one coming from much further away.
Yeah.
Because he was doing cocaine.
But his was still like slowly progressing, and when I got to the point where he was about to slip over, he called his brother, and his brother could have been there to help him. And the brother called the father, and the father was useless, boy. That's what I'm saying. If anything, the only one death could have benefited this entire family. Eh? Imagine if this guy died and they all had to live with the mom. They could have been all holy boys, no problem. Bro.
No, but look,
It's-
if one child dies, you learn a lesson.
yeah.
You say, okay,
Yo, this guy don't learn.
it's my fault. I was putting too much pressure. But but this is the thing, if you don't take responsibility, if you say, hey, it's this curse, that's you don't change your behavior. The curse gives him a way out to not
That's true.
take responsibility, right? And the reason why Zac Efron, it's not going to happen to his child, is not because he changed the name. It's because he's an empathetic father to his children.
Well, even then, it took him a...
Okay, something happened that fucked up the recording. But we were talking about the curse.
Yes.
Right? If the last thing I said was Zac Efron. There is no curse because he's an empathetic father, so the same thing won't happen. You know, he's the only one who was there to see what happened. You know, he's the only one who said, hey, you're being too hard on Mikey. You're doing this, you're doing that.
He tried to stand up for them, shame, bro.
Yes.
He really did, but it really wasn't enough for that father because, again, he's only focused at himself.
And the thing is, he's the child, right? You can't expect the child to be the mature one.
Yeah.
You expect the adult to be the level-headed, mature person. So, you know, I empathize with that family and what they went through, right?
Yeah.
How did you feel about the characterization?
I think that the characters are pretty good. I like all the people. It was a bit dark and brooding, some of the roles they had to play, but they all played them quite well. So, yeah.
Similarly, like we are speaking about Zac Efron's empathy, I think that's what adds so much to this performance, that it's like, it's understated, but it's also like so sweet, so like, you know, like you'd love to have this guy as a big brother, you know.
Yeah, that's true. He was very supportive. He was like more unconditional love than this conditional
and the thing
love.
is, he was passed over every time, right? His name is David. He's the first one who got the title shot.
Yeah.
And he was the older one, and he was passed over, and he just made sense. He
sat down, they took that humbly every time.
Yes.
They were like, your brothers needs to do this. He just said, I bet, yes sir,
and
sir.
Yes, and he's the one who basically not stood up for the brothers. He was there to support them regardless of how he felt. So yes, Zac Efron and the father are the two total opposites, and I love that how this movie played out.
That's true.
And another point I want to make, I love that wrestling is real.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
People,
For sure.
people love to come up to me and say, "Presh, wrestling is not real." Fuck you, pal. Zac Efron explained it in this movie. You know, it's about the crowd, how they respond to you.
Yeah.
You become the best by being the, you know.
You get the most responses.
It's based on merit.
Yeah.
It's real. Wrestling is real.
What I will say is real about wrestling is the injuries.
Yes.
Because I can see that no matter how much you practice or perform this thing, anything can happen and you'll be injured. So when they used to warn us about the WWE, you know, do not try this at home. You know, these are done by professionals. It does take a professional to jump off a ladder into a cage, you know, and slam someone. So these guys, they do a real good job.
Yes, wrestling is real. That's the main point of this movie. Don't.
And to be honest, like I said in the beginning, when you see this inspired by a true story or something, it's nice to see, because now you know for real wrestling is real, and the story behind this wrestling is also it's a touching and deep story too, because the whole family was invested in this. Except the one lady, you know, but the rest of them.
The one guy, he was a discus player. And like,
the Olympics,
you know, to go back, the monologue with the father when he's like, I wouldn't wish wrestling all on you. You know,
he's like,
bruh, this man is a motherfucker.
I felt it too, man.
When he's like, you know, it's your decision, and he kept on saying that. He's such a piece of shit.
But that's what a narcissist does. They're also master manipulators, you know. So he was very good at manipulating them to thinking that, nah, this is our choice. We'll do this for our family, you know.
Yeah.
But too much responsibility placed on that gold belt. I'm sure it never weighed so heavy on that entire family. Even when they were holding it above their heads, all three of them stood in the ring happy. But for 2 minutes he was proud, and then after that he was back to the next goal, you know. But wrestling is real. I agree.
So that's my last point on the movie.
What would you give this movie?
So this is the thing. I can see how technically well made it is. I can see the craft. So I'm gonna give it an 8.
An 8.
But I did not like this movie.
Yeah.
I found it so like upsetting. So that's just the word, upsetting. Like
I'd say I'd also give it like a 6. You know, because I thought like there was nothing too interesting about the movie, but like you said, I appreciate the way it was done. And to be honest, just that last scene with Zac,
yes,
I'll give it 6.7.
Sorry, two more things I forgot to say. One is that final scene where it's like, I used to be a brother, but I'm not a brother. That killed me, dog. Dude. I started crying. That's outrageous.
Immediately.
Right? But the other thing I wanted to speak about is you see him when he dies, he goes down the river, which is a Greek thing. So I wanted to ask,
scene.
yes, but I wanted to ask, did we see any other Greek stuff in the movie?
Not really that I know.
Yeah,
no.
that's why I think it just came out of like.
I think they just needed a very generic afterlife scene.
Well,
so
not
they
generic.
just use that. Because that's a generic afterlife. And even the word they use, they don't say death. They just say the afterlife, He's the champion of the afterlife. So whatever that scene is, it's just for that scene. 2 minutes. Well,
Okay.
I
Yes.
promise you 2 minutes later, they'll be in hell. All of them. Because they did fucked up shit.
Oh my god!
They all did messed up things, bruh. Only that little kid. Even that little kid, dude. I even forgot about him. The whole movie went on. And then they came in the last minute and they're like, oh, is this Jack Jr.? I was like, oh shit.
No,
he
he doesn't say Jack Jr. He says Jackie.
Hey, dude.
When he said Jackie, I was like, that's so funny, dude.
Hey, dude. So, yeah.
Holy fuck.
That's how I feel. But anyway.
But yes, that scene, like, I almost cried, but yes, when Zach, that came after, just, fucked me up. But yes.
Those two best scenes, that's what I'll say. For that, I'll give my rating like a little bit extra. Maybe a 7. It could be an 8, if I was really only watching that scene. But
yes, like I said, very well made movie, just not for me. And that's how things go, you know. You can be the sweetest peach on the tree, but some people just don't eat peaches,
That's true. Thank you very much.
What? No.
Nice movie. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
It was a nice movie,
Right.
We're done with the movie, so let's talk about what the weekend lies for ahead.
Recommendations, right?
Yeah.
It's been an incredibly slow week for me in terms of watching movies, so this will be quite brief. Right?
Yeah.
This week I watched Koyaanisqatsi.
Okay.
It's an experimental film that depicts the relationship between people and nature. Right?
Okay.
There are no words.
Interesting.
There are no words in this movie. It's just a collage of videos from different situations set to an orchestral score, which I thought that was very interesting. Then I watched it and I'm like, it's not
like too much.
Like after about 10 minutes, it gets like, okay, I've seen this now. Let's move on. But yes, the one thing I will say is Pruitt Igu and Prophecies, which is a song from that, is what's used in Watchmen for the birth of Dr. Manhattan. It's,
The Master Destroyer.
But yes, excellent song. I listen to it a lot, just randomly.
Okay.
So I gave it an 8. So again, very technically well made, just not for me. It's very interesting that I watched this and The Iron Claw in the same week because then the beginning of a new blank check miniseries on the films of John McTiernan. Right? Have you heard of John McTiernan? Okay, well, he's most famous for Die Hard, I would say.
Oh.
Right, but I'm very excited. He's a very excellent action director, and his first movie was Nomads. Right? It's a horror thriller about ghosts that start to haunt a photographer. I like the mood and the tone of the movie, but it's overall not a good movie. It's quite confusing and just slightly upsetting. Pierce Brosnan is playing a weird Frenchman for some reason. It doesn't even figure into the plot at all. Like, oh, he's French, therefore this happened. It's like, why is he French, dude? He could just be. Yeah, I gave this movie a 5. It's really not good. Like, I'm very lenient, right? I'll give you a 5 for just showing up, if you just have a camera.
And you were there, bro.
If your camera is pointing directly at the thing, I'm going to give you a 5, right? You know how dog shit you have to be to get below a 5.
Yeah, I'm dead.
All right.
I'm dead.
Okay. Following this, we have the next John McTiernan movie, the action classic Predator.
Yes.
So I've already watched this movie, but it's a pleasure to rewatch such a masterful action movie, right? Unfortunately, the CGI and certain effects don't hold up, but everything else in terms of script, acting, action, I give it a 9.
So it was good at the time, Now if they did a remake,
it's just
it would be
certain effects,
even better. Yeah.
Yeah, if they redid that same movie with just a handful of new effects, it would be a 10, easy.
Remaster.
Right. Then for the first time in a long time, I watched The Daily Show. as Jon Stewart returned to host the show. So you may remember he was the host, and then Trevor Noah took over. Trevor Noah, I think I don't know what he did. He resigned last year, I think, and they haven't had a host since.
Oh, really?
Well, what they're doing is they're having like rotating hosts. So he comes in on Mondays now. This was his first episode, and in 2011 or 2012, when Comedy Central came to South Africa, I started watching The Daily Show. You know, like I would get ready, then I'd wait for my auntie. My auntie would take me to school, right? While I was waiting for her, I would watch The Daily Show, right? It was Jon Stewart that got me interested in politics in the first place. So, you know, like I totally forgot how excellent and funny he is. He's truly one of the funniest people to ever live. I usually don't rate individual episodes of TV, but this is a 10. I love him so much, I forgot, you know. You forget.
Sure. I feel you.
Then, this week was the final episode of season 4 of True Detective. I've seen a lot of people say that this has been a bad season, but I've been having a ball. Right? I've been trying to unfold the mystery, and it ended in an incredibly satisfying way. Just usually with the with detective shows, I can usually guess the killer. But this one, I was like, wow, they really got me. They, you know, I give the season a 9 out of 10, and overall, I have True Detective as an 8 out of 10 because it's a anthology series, so every season is way different. So, yeah.
Okay, that sounds good. Speaking of True Detectives, I was watching The Rookie. I just finished it today. You know?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, it was the only thing I've really been watching. Like I said, I really enjoyed the different scenarios, and this last scenario was just a bit weird. And like, you know, this last season is coming down a little bit, so I don't know if they're gonna have a new season or anything is coming, but just the way it ended, it was very just open-ended, you know. There was like they have master villains on the way in the car talking about a plan, saying that they'll never know what we're gonna do, and then it ends. So yeah, it was a bit weird. But after this, I'm definitely gonna watch some ninja show on Netflix. I saw. I'm ready for ninjas now. Thank you.
All right. Awesome. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Please remember to rate, review, subscribe, give a like, etc.
Yeah.
Importantly, it needs to be a 5-star review.
Yeah.
4.9.
Yeah.
I'm gonna steal your tires off your car.
Not even the tires, the hubcap.
Yes, the hubcap.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Please subscribe on Patreon to listen to our movie commentaries.
Yes.
You can find all our links at PAICIP.com. That's PAICIP.com. Please tell a friend. Tell that friend to tell a friend. Tell a family member.
Yeah. And then tell them to tell you again.
Yes, and next week we'll be doing Madam Web.
Yes, exciting stuff.
The titular movie of Madam Webruary.
The titular movie of the Madam, yes. Okay, yes. Thank you.
All right, goodbye. Au revoir.